Okay, let's go through the results of my championship round of my 1990 Strat-O-Matic Diamond Gems tournament between the American League champion, the 1992 Blue Jays, and the National League champion, the 1990 Cincinnati Reds. Now, because the Blue Jays won their American League championship, sweeping the 98 Yankees, and the 90 Reds won their championship round, beating the Padres in 5 games. Both teams go into this final round with set up starting rotations. No issues going in there. So let's get right into the results here. And by the way, I gave the 92 Blue Jays home field advantage in the series um, because, first off, both were ranked second in their respective tournaments. Both obviously won the World Series and did not win 100 games. So they both had the same amount of points based on my ranking system, but I just ended up giving the Blue Jays home field advantage based on number of wins in the regular season. So that's how I came about that. So anyway, in game number one, we got Tom Browning going for the Reds and David Cohn going for the Blue Jays, and the 1990 Cincinnati Reds take game number one by a score of 5-3. You could see in the top half of the seventh inning with the Reds up 2-1. You had a big two RBI single by catcher Jeff Reed. Now, what happened in that scenario there with the bases loaded and one out, I could have brought in a lefty specialist, Bob McDonald, to pitch to the left-handed hitting Reed. But I just felt like I was more comfortable with Cone facing Reed than McDonald facing a pinch hitter. So Reed gets the big two RBI single, and that's followed up by a Billy Hatcher RBI sac fly. So the Reds open up a 5-1 lead. Blue Jays made it interesting by getting 2 runs in the bottom half of the eighth inning off of Rob Dibble, but then Randy Myers comes in and pitches a perfect ninth inning. So Cincinnati gets game number one by a score of 5-3. Now in game number two, we have Jose Rio on the mound going up against Jack Morris, and the 92 Blue Jays take this one by a score of 5-2 as John Olerud has a really big day. He goes 2 for 4 with a home run and 4 RBIs in the game. So Toronto gets game number two, so the series is tied 1 game apiece. Now in game number three, and obviously, the middle games, games three, four, and five, will all be played in Cincinnati. So no DH in the National League Park. We have Jimmy Key going for the Blue Jays and Jack Armstrong going for the 1990 Cincinnati Reds. And Cincinnati takes game number three by a score of 4-2. Toronto had a 2-0 lead after 3.5 in this game. And then Cincinnati got all the runs they would need to take the lead and hold on. The big hit, you can see Chris Sabo hits a 3-run home run off of Jimmy Key to give Cincinnati the 4-2 lead. And that's how it would stay as Armstrong goes 6 strong innings, only allowing 2 runs, and Dibble and Myers combined to throw 3 shutout innings out of the pen. So the 1990 Cincinnati Reds have a 2-1 lead after 3 games. In game number four, I just decided to go with the number four starters in both rotations. Cincinnati has a 2-1 lead coming into this game, as I just stated. And Juan Guzman, the number four starter for the 92 Blue Jays, has an absolutely terrific card. So I'm very comfortable pitching him in this situation with Toronto down 2-1 in the series. So let's take a look at what happens in game number four in Cincinnati. And the 92 Blue Jays are able to tie this best of seven series up at 2 games apiece with a 7-3 win. Really big day out of Robbie Alomar. As you see, he goes 4 for 5 with 4 ribbies and a run scored. Guzman pitched very well as he only allowed 1 earned run in 6 innings of work. The 2-run homer he gave up to Eric Davis in the bottom half of the first inning. That was right after a Joe Carter error in right field with 2 outs. So you see, Guzman was absolutely terrific. and he was followed up by three scoreless innings out of the pen by Dwayne Ward and Tom Hankey. This was a game where you see Cincinnati was up 3-0 after three innings, and I was finally able to get the Blue Jay bats to wake up as they get two in the fourth, three in the seventh, and two more in the ninth to put the game away. So through four games, we have a tied series, two games apiece. Game number five now is a rematch of the game one starters, David Cohn for the Blue Jays and Tom Browning for the Cincinnati Reds. And Cincinnati wins game number five in 10 innings by a score of 3-2. Now, with the 1990 Reds up 2-1 going into the top half of the eighth inning, Tom Browning had to come out of the game for a pinch hitter, so I bring in Randy Myers looking to get the two-inning save out of him. Joe Carter hits a solo home run with one out in the top half of the eighth inning to make it 2-2. So Toronto is able to extend the game that way. Now, in the bottom half of the 10th inning, if I could just take you through the play-by-play here. Ron Oster was in the game as he was double switched into the game. So he leads off by making out. And then we have a Billy Hatcher single, and he's advanced to second base by a Barry Larkin ground out. And the Paul O'Neill walk-off single, which scored Billy Hatcher, that was a fielding chart fly ball to left field. And this is one issue that I've had in the past with the 1992 Blue Jays, who I think are an absolutely terrific team. But the defense in the corner outfield spots can be a little suspect, and it can hurt you from time to time. And very obviously, biggest play of the game and very big play in the series going forward was that fielding chart single to walk it off for the 1990 Cincinnati Reds. So through five games, as we head back to Toronto, Cincinnati has a 3-2 lead. Now, as we go on to game number six, it's a rematch of the game two starters, Jose Rio for the Reds and Jack Morris for the 1992 Blue Jays. And in game number six, the 1990 Cincinnati Reds take it by a score of 5-4. So they are my 1990 Strat-O-Matic Diamond Gems champions as they defeat the 1992 Blue Jays in the final round, 4-2. Toronto was looking pretty good through three innings in this game as they had a 4-0 lead. You had a two-run homer by Alomar in the bottom of the first, and then Toronto was able to string together three straight doubles in the bottom half of the third inning. Joe Carter, Dave Winfield, and John Olerud. Then Cincinnati was able to claw back in it as they put up single runs in the middle frames. You had a home run by O'Neill. Billy Hatcher, double play, scores a run, and you had a ribby single by Hal Morris. And then in that top half of the seventh inning, get the two-out, two-run home run by Barry Larkin to give Cincinnati the 5-4 lead, and that's how it would hold. The Reds bullpen was able to come through in this game as Rob Dibble throws two scoreless innings and Randy Myers throws a scoreless ninth inning. So there you have it. The 1990 Cincinnati Reds are my 1990s Strat-O-Matic Diamond Gems champions.